This is everything. Every twisted sinew, car wreck love. The sea gives up, gets thirsty, and dies thin and spitting on dry land. And that's where everything takes over. The other night on Lincoln Boulevard, a Mexican man with a bag full of plastic racing cars went from store to store trying to sell the garbage. What the hell was he thinking? I wonder what the man who sold him the cars told him. That he was going to make a lot of friends and get rich? That if no one bought this crap, he'd be stuck with it? His family was walking behind him. 2 filthy children and his carbon monoxide-dulled wife. She was carrying another bag of racing cars. The rent is always due around here. The sun sets on their weary shoulders. The neon grinds into their skin. Did you know that right now there's a beautiful woman waiting to talk to you? Yes, you. Not a recording either. A real woman. All you have to do is pick up the phone right now and dial 1-900-TO-DEATH. All across Bullet Town, the image of a smiling woman slams men down into the bottle. Loneliness so deep and hard it cracks the spine to even think about it. This is everything. All the cities, the long scream, the unsure, fragile thread of life. The black man walking down the street, tattoo on each breast, yard-hard body, pimp-rolling stride, trying to conceal his fear. The crystal-clear knowledge that he's never getting out of this neighborhood, besides a trip to prison or the graveyard. He's got it all figured out. So hard, so fierce, so hopeless. This life rips and dismembers, doesn't care to know how much you bleed, doesn't want to know your pain and triumph. I heard a man wailing. His voice sounded evicted. I lost my woman. He had been walking the streets, winding his way through the bars, stopping to drink and cry, falling through the sidewalk. Hours later, he got his face wall-slammed by a cop who liked to prey on what he considered subhuman. He was staggering, looking for someone he thought was his, like he could really own someone. Somebody should have told him, no woman is yours, no one is yours, nothing is yours. Thieves prove that. Everyone will leave you sometime. Look into her eyes. The more you love, the more you will taste the blood. The more idle time you'll spend with mortal losers like yourself, your woman, your man. It just doesn't work like that. And the proof is splattered all over the walls. Do you see how the streets open up at night? The trenches of disease and malice? Yes, it's right there. Ugly salesmen selling cheap ways out. It's like that. Let the scars of all the stars rip you up and teach you something. This is everything. All the poison love songs. The radio's bleeding. They should sell dried blood scraped off the streets, tell you it belonged to a daytime television actor, so you could line up and buy it. I knew this lady who used to fuck the janitors in the apartment buildings in my neighborhood. She used to take care of me while my mom was at work. I would sit in the front rooms of basement apartments and watch black and white television while she turned tricks. This is everything. A wound stitched together by ghettos, the violent promise of inequality, trails of crime lights compact dirt into humanity. This isn't an excuse, just the facts. Save your bullets and your guilt for later. I walk the scar lines from coast to coast, observing the effects of compression and consumption. Like tonight at the market, 2:15 a.m., 2 women trying to put money together to buy 2 wine coolers and a 40 ounce. One of them grabs my shoulder. I feel my fist. I cool it. The security guard tenses. 2 Crips enter the market. The guard puts his hand on one of his 2 guns. I purchase and leave. Walking back to my room, I watch others watch others. This place makes you watch everyone. You don't know who's gonna go off. So, you become perpetually ready for life to become a movie. And this takes years off your life. A group of men weave stiff-legged out of a bar down the street. One walks into a light pole. His friends laugh and pick him up. At the end of all of this, your bones will be ground into a powder, your blood into dust, your dreams gagged and brutally pushed out the window to confuse and complicate the air. The blues hit so hard they crack your ribs, snap your spine, splatter your brains on the ceiling, wrap your car around a tree, drive you to drink, love, trust, and crawl. The man sits in his car, parked in the middle of the lot, turns the radio up, takes a long drink, and lets it pass by. No headaches tonight. He can't go home to that thing watching television. The squawking, screeching mistake. The roaring monster he was once in love with. He stays out at night, drinks alone. She does the same inside the house. They have not touched without violence for 2 years. The kid doesn't come to visit. He's somewhere in Oregon. Fuck it. So I failed. Failed who? Whatever. He thinks of a 20-year-old night in the jungle, scarred by a firefight that seemed to last a minute, but in fact lasted 5 hours. A night that resulted in a sharp ringing in both ears, uncontrollable shakes, constant dreams of his best friend's brains cooling on his face. This is everything. Because I think I'm gonna break. Because I question the ground beneath me. Life cripples and distorts. I can't keep it to myself anymore. Believe me, I tried. For years I kept it locked up, stoic like a father. Now I breathe cancer and my eyes shoot death rays. My back wants to break from the weight. All the dazzling beauty, the things that make you want to touch, the urge to destroy what you cannot possess, what you cannot ruin because it's out of reach, because it intimidates you and seduces you into acts of brutality. The stranger rears its head. You see the real thing as you break her jaw, as you rape her, as you rape them, as you crush your hands in your fists, over and over, all night long, waiting for the next day to bring you something better than today did. See it in yourself, the focused desperation in your smile. I love you. Don't hurt me. Touch me. Go in me. I trust you. I like you. Please, don't rape me. Everything told and sold. At the market tonight, a Crip walks with his girlfriend through the aisles. The Crip is dressed down, heavily built. They discuss what cereal they should get. And I'm making jokes to myself about if they got into an argument, which one would draw first. I hear yelling at the front of the store. The guard greets another Crip as he walks in. This Crip is short and built like a tank. He's wearing gloves and a blue cap. First Crip sees him and they start yelling at each other until they get close and then they shake hands. The girlfriend and the guard come over and talk to him. I listen to the short Crip say that this will be his first Christmas he's seen outside of prison in 3 years. The guard says he remembers when he went in. The two Crips fuck with the guard about how he isn't a gangster anymore. I walk by them and all talk stops. They look at me. I get my food and get the hell out. When the world ends, how will I know? Will there be a sale? Will they announce it on TV? Extinct! Everything must go! Has it ended already? The stark and unflinching reality that blows the brains out of Vietnam vets keeps me wrapped tight and looking at your hands, distrusting your every word, monitoring your every movement. The world ends for some every night. They pull it down screaming, trying to make it all die so they can sleep for a while. I saw an article about people who live in by-the-month hotels off highways all over America. The article said that they usually work at truck stops. One guy lives alone with his dog. He cooks food at Denny's during the day and drinks a case at night in front of the TV and passes out on the couch, gets up in the morning and goes to work. He says the dog is his only friend. He's been living there for 7 years. Anywhere you hang yourself is home. You know, it's hard to talk to you. There's certain words I never get to. Words that would save me. Words that could stop the pain. This is everything. My life. the wounds, the flickering lights and fear of mortality. The reason I don't want to talk to you and never want to see you again is that you will never know my world. You have yours and I have mine. It's that simple. All the time you wasted trying to get close to me makes me hate you all the more. I don't feel that bad about it either. You want to know the truth? I don't give a fuck, because you're just like all the others. You're a typical lying piece of humanity. Like I could ever talk to you. I'll never forget your blank stare, your total lack of life, that vacant, faraway look that I mistook for depth and understanding. I bet that somewhere some asshole is pouring his heart out to you right now. He's hard at it, wasting himself on you, giving you everything. And that's what you want. The old woman, throwing the pieces of newspaper she doesn't want out into the street. These pieces of shit never cease to amaze me. The way they mutate and believe everything. I'm one of them. I'm one of the biggest believers. I'm a sucker. When I was growing up, I wanted life to be like the shows I saw on television. The mother and father lived in the same house. They didn't fight. The children were happy. They had friends to play with. Mother didn't scream and chain smoke. The kids didn't want to kill her. They didn't want to die. They didn't fall behind in school. They were able to control their violent urges. Father didn't come into the room at night to confess and terrify. The silent rage is built up like interest in the bank. You know how it is when you want to do right. Everything gets in your way, and you swing like forgotten meat on the barbed wire that surrounds the prison camp. You wonder how you let it go this far, as you watch the blood flow from your wounds and fall with excruciating anonymity. And after a few nights, even that stops causing pain.